in today's video, I wanted to show you how I did this fall design, and I'm also gonna do encapsulated nails. I'm gonna teach you step by step so you guys can do this at home. But before we start, remember that it's so important to always prep the nails, and I already done that. So now I'm gonna put the form and I'm gonna close it off a lot more than usual, because in today's video, I'm gonna be doing coffin-shaped nails. This first nail, I'm going to be creating an encapsulated design, so that's the reason why I'm going to start by creating this thin layer of crystal clear acrylic. Like you guys can tell, I'm going to push it down until it's XL size kind of. And what this is going to do is that it's going to serve as a base for us to add the butterflies. These are the actual butterflies I'm going to be using. I'm gonna use two different colors, these gold ones and also these green butterflies. Like you guys can tell, I chose colors that reminded me of fall, since this is a fall design. And what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to create small bits of the same crystal clear acrylic. I'm going to be grabbing some of these butterflies on top of it. And what this is going to do is that it's going to serve as a glue, because it's going to stick the butterflies wherever I want to put them. What I did first is that I applied the gold butterflies, and now I'm going to go ahead and put the green ones. I'm going to push them upwards until they are in the upper half of the nail. Because what I'm going to do here is this type of ombre design. I'm going to be using this acrylic that has this type of pink neutral color, and I'm going to apply it up near the cuticle. What I'm going to be doing here is that I'm going to be dragging the acrylic down until the butterflies and the color mixes. To make it look more natural, I'm still gonna apply some more of these green butterflies on top of the pink. I feel like this makes the whole design look better. And of course, we have to encapsulate these butterflies, because otherwise what's gonna happen is that they're gonna fall off. And to do this, I'm gonna be using the same crystal clear acrylic. I'm gonna apply pretty liquid beads, and I'm gonna focus mostly on the tip of the nail, because that's where I have the butterflies. And now that I'm done, I'm gonna apply some pressure on the sides. I recommend you to always do this, because what this is gonna do is that it's going to make your nail look a lot more natural. In the second nail, I'm also going to be creating this clear base, but this time it's going to be a little bit different, because I'm not going to be doing any type of ombre. I'm going to be doing a different design that this was actually the first time that I tried doing it. It's a little bit different, but I'm going to teach you step by step. And what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to apply a little bit of this white acrylic, and I'm going to put it up near the cuticle, and I'm going to use my brush and I'm going to push it downwards until it gets kind of near the tip, and I'm going to make a straight line using my brush. I hope that you guys can tell better watching the video. And I want it to look more clean, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to file it until it looks completely straight. And now that I have this done, I'm going to start applying the butterflies the same way that I've been telling you. I'm going to use small bits of crystal clear acrylic, and I'm going to mix it with the butterflies, and I'm just going to be adding them on the tip of the nail. Like I told you earlier, this was the first time that I tried to do a design like this, but I think that it looks so cool, and there's a lot of type of different designs that you can create with this. And to finish this second nail, I'm going to be encapsulating the butterflies, and I'm still going to use the same crystal clear acrylic. Just remember to cover them up, and also I recommend you to add a little bit on top of the white, because it's going to make the whole design a lot stronger. This third nail, I'm gonna let it be more simple. I'm not gonna be creating any type of ombre design. And here what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna create this acrylic nail like I would usually do. So I'm gonna put the first bead between the natural nail and the form. I'm gonna use my brush to push the acrylic downwards. Like you guys can tell, I'm doing little taps on the acrylic, and that's the way that I move it. Now that I have this first step done, I'm gonna apply the last bead and I'm gonna connect it with what I already built, and then I'm gonna push it upwards until it gets near the cuticle. But remember that it's so important to never touch the cuticle or the skin, because what this is gonna do is that it's going to cause lifting. And of course, just like always, I'm gonna apply some pressure on the sides. Now onto the last nail for this tutorial. Here I'm gonna do an encapsulated nail, like 100%. We're not gonna be doing any type of ombre design. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna create this thin base. And the way that I do this is that I apply the first acrylic bead between the natural nail and the form. And I'm gonna keep pushing it downwards until it gets on the XL size. A little tip that I have for you guys is to use the lines on the form to guide you, because it's going to be much easier this way. And then I'm gonna cover everything else up. Now that I have the base done, I'm gonna start applying the butterflies, and I'm gonna start using the green ones. I'm gonna do this by creating small beads, and I'm gonna apply butterflies on top. And that's the way that I move them around and I make them stay. And also a little thing is that I didn't want to add too many of them. I wanted some spaces to be clear because I feel like the nail looks better this way. And now that I'm done using the green butterflies, I'm gonna add the orange ones. The gold ones, sorry. It's going to be the exact same way that I've been doing. And now that I have it done, I'm gonna finish up by encapsulating this nail. And the way that I do this is that I use the same crystal clear acrylic, and I'm gonna start by applying it up near the cuticle. I recommend you guys to use liquid beads so it can be easier to move it around and cover everything up. This is so important. You have to make sure that all of the butterflies are well covered, because once you start filing, what can happen is that they can fall off. Of course, remember to apply some pressure on the sides. And this is how these acrylic nails look like. They are not perfect, but that's why I always say that filing is one of the most important steps. File nails, I like to start by filing the sides, and since these are coffin shaped, I'm gonna put the file completely straight, and I'm also going to try to follow the natural shape that the coffin has. This is how the nails look like after filing the sides. Like you guys can tell, they're a lot more sharp now. And now I'm gonna start by filing the surface, and I like to use my e-file for that, but if you guys want to, you can use a regular one. And here what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna file down these nails until they're pretty thin, and I'm also going to make sure that there's no bumps left behind. And this is how the nails look like after filing them. Also, I recommend you to take off the dust that is left behind, because otherwise what can happen is that our design can end up looking dirty. Next, I'm gonna do a pretty simple design on the second nail, and that's the reason why I'm going to use this thin nail art brush. Here, I'm gonna be using this darker green color. Like I told you earlier, I'm gonna be using greens and golds, and this one reminded me of fall. Here, I'm gonna make sure that I cover up the white acrylic, and that's the reason why I'm gonna use the thin nail art brush, because with this, I can get to all of the tiniest places that sometimes it's kind of hard to get to. Also, the nail polishes that I use are gel polishes, which that means that we have to cure them. We have to put them under the light so they can get crystallized, and my brand takes about 30 seconds. And on this third nail that I also left simple, I'm gonna be using this gel polish that has this type of gold sparkles. I think that adding texture to this type of designs makes it look a lot better and a lot more unique. And here what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna apply it on top of all of the nail, and once I'm done, I'm gonna cure it for about 60 seconds. And this is how the design looks like. But now my favorite part of doing encapsulated nails is adding a little bit of this top coat. Like you guys can tell, once you guys start adding top coat, you can really see the butterflies and also the ombre design that we did. I feel like it makes the entire design complete, and you can finally see how it truly looks like. You guys know adding top coat is not only gonna add a really pretty shine to your nails, but it's also going to protect them and make the design last longer. On this last nail, you guys can really see how the butterflies end up looking. That's the great thing about doing encapsulated nails. In the end, you get to really see the work that you put behind. And before I cure these nails, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna add these tiny gold stones on the second one, because I feel like it looked a little bit too simple. I wanted to add something a little extra here. I'm gonna put them in a straight line. The good thing about top coat is that it kind of serves as a glue. And I'm gonna cure everything for about 60 seconds. And this is how the final design looks like. Honestly, I love the combination of the two colors, and I love doing this type of encapsulated nails. I feel like it makes the whole design look complete. I hope that you guys like this tutorial. If you did, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!